There are a lot of signs that Aquaman will be a big win for DC Films or the DC Expanded Universe. In this video, I want to break down all of these positive things, including the box office tracking for Aquaman, why it's so good, what the early reviewers are saying when the social media embargo for all of that lifts, and just in general, what a big win like this could mean for the future of the DC Films universe. What's up, everybody? I am Josh. This is, of course, the Den of Nerds. Now, before we get into the Aquaman of this all, I need to shout out Frank Morrison, who got the nerd card question correct in my early Aquaman review breakdown video. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to DC Comics and the DC films. So shout out to you, Frank. And we'll do another nerd card question at the end of this video. So let's get right into this, guys. It's just a little bonus video that I wanted to do today. Couldn't quite fit it into the Nerdy News rundown earlier today, but I definitely wanted to talk to you guys about the hype that is building for Aquaman. Now, as I said, I did a video talking about early reviews. There's been a lot of screenings happening for Aquaman lately, and the word on the street just gets more and more positive as more and more people see this movie. There's a lot of people posting to Reddit about things they liked about the movie. People even making videos on YouTube that were at the screenings talking about how hype it is. Overall, it just seems to really be building in positivity. Now, we've also recently got word that official press screenings will be happening very soon, actually this holiday weekend. So the press is going to be checking out this movie. And get this, guys, the social media embargo for the members of the press lifts on Monday, November 26th. That is almost a full month before the movie actually comes out. And check this out, the reviews for the movie, the actual review embargo lifts on Tuesday, December the 11th. This is a great sign, guys. This means that Warner Brothers has a lot of confidence in this film. They think they're going to get a lot of positive buzz on this coming Monday when screeners and the critics are able to talk about it a little bit. And then they think that the Rotten Tomatoes score and all the reviews in general, when they hit on Tuesday the 11th, will likely be very positive. This is very different than what we've come to expect from DC and Warner Brothers, who tends to sort of crunch their embargoes right up to their release dates, which is really a sign of like a lack of confidence in the quality of the film. This is way different. This is a very, very good sign if you are a fan of DC movies. On top of that, the tracking for this film is looking better and better by the day. Now, I had mentioned in a couple of videos ago that they did this very interesting thing with Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime members were able to buy tickets for early screenings of Aquaman the Saturday before it actually comes out. Now, this is super smart for a number of different reasons, but Aquaman is essentially facing very, very stiff competition in its opening weekend, going right up against the Bumblebee movie and Mary Poppins. And there's a lot of buzz around this Mary Poppins movie. And so as a way to sort of combat against this very, very tough opening weekend, Aquaman is getting extra money by releasing early to only Amazon Prime members here in the state. And it totally worked. Like, the sales for those things are through the roof. Fandango is reporting that the pre-sales for Aquaman are even higher than they were for Venom, and Venom set records in October, and it's continuing to crush its worldwide. It's doing very, very well in the box office. Guaranteed that we're getting a Venom sequel. That's a video for a different time, though. So overall, this is huge, right? I mean, you've got a lot of good buzz from it. There's signs from the studio that show a lot of confidence in the film. They did a brilliant maneuver with the Amazon Prime thing to sort of open up their box office, expand what their opening weekend will be. There'll be a lot of positive word of mouth. I expect Aquaman to crush it in its opening weekend and go on to have a lot of legs in late December and maybe even into early January. Now, I know some people don't like it when I talk about this sort of thing, but I think this could be a huge shift for DC films or the world of DC or the DCEU or whatever you want to call it. That continuity, that shared universe that Warner Brothers and DC has going on. It's not crazy to talk about that. Things have been kind of rocky for them, but the reason that I've kept such a watchful eye on Aquaman is because of James Wan and because of the relationship that he has with Walter Hamada. James Wan and Walter Hamada worked together to build up the horror franchise that came from like Insidious and like The Nun, and all these different movies are now attached to it. They made like a horror shared universe over there. And I was always interested to see what kind of an impact will Aquaman make for DC Films, considering that Walter Hamada is now in charge of DC Films, and he did all of that stuff with the Insidious movies with James Wan. Now, a lot of the cast and crew have talked about Aquaman 2. James Momoa pitched a great idea for Aquaman 2. He was thinking about it very early on in the process of filming the first Aquaman movie. So it's very possible this movie crushes the way I think it might. We'll get an Aquaman movie locked in. But I've got to be completely honest with you guys. Just from what I see visually from Aquaman, what I would ultimately want is actually James Wan to direct a Superman movie. That's what I would actually like. I'd like James Wan's sensibility and everything that he brings to the table, and hopefully some planning with Walter Hamada, and I would love to see him tackle Superman. Now, if the rumors are to be believed that the Wonder Woman 84 movie is going to sort of soft reboot and we'll get like a new Batman and a new Superman in this universe after that, I think that's okay. Like, we'll all sort of get over it as long as the movies are good. But honestly, I would love the take that Walter Hamada would have on a Superman, because he took this character, from what I'm seeing, this kind of rock band grunge Aquaman that like I was kind of iffy on in Justice League, and he seems really heroic and seems like the straight up Aquaman out of the comics, the Arthur Curry that I know, growing up and then reading in comics, on the screen. It really feels like James Wan nailed that sensibility with that character. So I'd love to see what he could do with a Superman movie, even if it's not Henry Cavill. But that's the news out there, guys. Just a little bonus video, like I said, talking about the hype for Aquaman. Reviews looking really good. A lot of confidence coming from Warner Brothers when it comes to the movie. Box office tracking right on track for a very, very good take for DC's Aquaman. Let me know what you think about some of this news. Are you super hyped for Aquaman? Are you still kind of on the fence? And what do you think this could possibly mean for the future of DC Films if James Wan and Walter Hamada really knock this movie out of the park? Whatever you're thinking, let me know in the comment section below. Now let's check that nerd card before we get out of here. I want to know, what is the name of Arthur Curry's father in the comic books? That's right. What's the name of Aquaman's dad? Answer that question in the comment section below. And as I always say, guys, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video.